I'll try to eat off camera.
Yeah.
There we go.
We should be live right now. And we are. Oh, and we're the wrong we're the wrong
channel.
We're the wrong channel. Let's go up to studio. Okay, so we're streaming and we're streaming in the wrong channel. Damon and I were in staff chat and not in studio. So we're noobs. We're big noobs. Here we are. Get in here and turn your video on again, Damon. So I'm not huge on the screen. There we go. There we go. Yeah, right. Good grief.
Do we have sound effects tonight?
We do. We do. We're ready to go. Rock and roll. Here we are. We're going to get the intro. It's Echoes of New Eden, ladies and gentlemen.
You're listening to Echoes of New Eden podcast. Kill you. Then I'll pod you. Until I get my sultry action. Sultry action. Sultry action. Sultry action. Echoes of New Eden podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are again. It's been another week, and it's the week we've been waiting for. Finally, the patch notes dropped this last week, and we got super carriers. We're going to cover all of it, go over all the latest in the community news, everything else that's been going on. Damon's here tonight to kind of clue us in on some of the things that I don't know about. I'm sure we'll talk about Myth. I'm sure we'll talk about some of the other skirmishes going on around the map. And Damon will fill us in. And once we get through all of that, we'll go circle back around, and we will talk about super carriers the rest of the entire night. It'll be a lot to cover, and not only out of those patch notes, but also on the super carriers. We're going to talk about what it takes to make one of the damn things, debris, the fittings, the build, the number of cap parts, the whole 9 yards. We're going to go through it and decide: is it too much? Is it not enough? How crazy of a build is it? How many people are already working on it? Those kinds of things. We'll talk about all of that and more. Damon, how you been? It's been a week, man.
I'm good. And of course, the one night I show up, Rambo doesn't come here. It's got to be definitely that he's upset at me. It's content creator metal envy. That's what it is.
That's what it is. He really wants that metal. He's got to have it. He doesn't have it. I'm going to turn you up a little bit on the back end. There we go. Make sure you're loud enough. Everything should be coming through nice and clean. If anybody sees or hears anything that's off, let me know. But everything
sorry
looks
about
pretty good.
the blue screen. I don't have the green screen up today. I didn't have a time to set it up.
That's all right.
I need to get one of those ones that just pop on the back of your chair.
Yeah. I finally did a little work here. I don't know how many you can really tell the difference, but it's a big difference to me. I've got these nice kind of yellowish lights that are hanging down. So I've got 3 of them up there. It gives the lighting in the backdrop a little bit better look. I painted. I got to redo the Eve letters. They've got that stripe in the middle of them, which looks silly now. It should be all white like the other letters are. So, but yeah, and you're rocking out. You're rocking out in the UK shirt, so it's awesome. UK
Yeah,
colors.
the funny thing is, since we're going to be talking about indie tonight, I have both my indie tunes, which I haven't really put any skills into them for a while. I know one of my indie tunes has around 39 million skill points just accrued, waiting to put into something.
Very nice.
That's my mining reprocessor. Yes, just to cover it too. No Orca, no Rourke rule here.
Yeah.
And on my builder, who can build caps and structure parts and everything else, he's sitting on at least 22 million skill points. So
Wow.
I'm getting back into indie again. So I guess this will be an education for me as well.
Yeah, it should be. There's a lot to learn there. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. You got the fullerene, plastic stuff. Yeah, exactly. And there's Rambo. He can't join us, but he can type. And entire show staff is once again all shush. Rip wants to buy a non-biased host. Thanks, Rambo. Thank you. Rambo once again has no power. I don't know how he survived for 3 weeks now. I'm not really sure what's going on out there. I think at this point they're just burning all their clothes for fuel. I don't know. So
I told him to just get a generator and run a big extension cord.
yeah. I mean, you can turn your. Ooh, we need to get Alt into his corp. If he can't log in for 21 days, we can vote and take Red One over. We need to do that. Allie, hook me up. Allie, I know you listen. I'm gonna get an Alt in. You approve it. Brain is like X. By the way, tonight's episode is brought to you by Propel. I always have something I'm drinking, so tonight it's brought to you by Propel. So, just a reminder, never undock without a prop mod. Okay, let's get right into... It should have vodka in it, Brain. God, it should. Fucking.
It would be.
It should be straight vodka, honestly. Everybody knows I'm more punchy when I drink on the show, the alcohol. But
you
anyway.
even said that's when the best shows are, when you drink.
Yeah, I really need to drink more. Anyway, okay, let's get into the dev Q&A. Some of these screens are going to look funny because the developers in their infinite wisdom, or the moderators on the Echo's Discord in their infinite wisdom decided to make these images weird this week, and I can't blow them up anymore without blowing away the other stuff that's going to come up next. So let's get right into the Q&A. 530 to 65. First question: will there be a function in the future to customize or change your avatar? Maybe have an event that gives you special clothes that the avatar can fit, like in EVE Online. Chillum comes back because, of course, they fired Matt after my comments last week. Thank you for your interest in EVE Echoes. Unfortunately, the avatars in EE are not editable. Is that edible or edit? Man, Rambo's rubbing off on me. Is it editable or editable? Whatever. Who cares? You can't edit them, and they do not support the clothes changing. We have considered adding avatar frames and or other decorations, but due to limited staffing, this low prioritized feature wouldn't meet with players in the short term. Keep that one phrase in mind. Limited staffing, okay? It's not the first time you're going to hear it. It's ridiculous.
I'm just confused. As a coding perspective, right? How hard is it to take the existing game of EVE Online and import elements from that game?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about the like the models and some of the graphics, and even some of the baseline code algorithms for how things work, it's not that hard because it's C++ to C++ essentially, or whatever the language is. You can still use the same language. The issue then becomes, though, with what a phone can run versus what EVE Online can run, and that's where you have to make some decisions on what you're going to chop out and just go with. And so I'd imagine what they did at the beginning of all this when they started going through it, they chopped a whole bunch of stuff out to lighten it down, get it small, compact it, make it simple, and then build it as they go from there, right? So I could see them chopping the character stuff out. Is that a really difficult thing to add for any developer at all, whether or not they have EO stuff to start with? No. So how many games do you play on mobile that have that?
That expansion that gave that experience to EVE Online, where it's like, oh, look, you can now walk around the station. Look, this is your avatar, and you can change his picture. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And obviously, the phones of today can run things that were out 10 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure they can do it. It's not and it can't be that difficult. Of all the things they've done in EVE Echoes, I can't imagine that doing a character overlay to where you can change and modify your character and buy clothes and all that kind of stuff is honestly that difficult. Again, it comes back down to those two words, limited staffing.
Right. But at the same time, we also know they are in a cash grab. This would be a perfect way to expand on that AUR shopping experience.
Well, we've talked about this before multiple times. I mean, I don't know how many times, a couple hundred times probably, just this year, let alone years past, where there's a number of things that they could add into this game and charge ARM for. and nobody would bat an eye. In fact, everybody would be fucking ecstatic about it, and it wouldn't even impact the game. Things like interior design of your station, right? Clothes, like we're talking about that now with your character, right? Being able to put your corporation's signature on the outside of every ship you build. Simple things like that, and it would last until, those things would last until it blows up and then it's gone. Simple things like that people would pay for a lot of money. People would pay big money for that stuff, and wouldn't care and would be happy about it, and it wouldn't actually impact anything with the balance of the game. So I don't know why they haven't done any of those things, but whatever. It is what it is. Next question. With the successful introduction of carriers, faction carriers, and Cyan C, and soon the super carriers, is there any plan to add a fighter lightweight ship-specific implant? The effects could be similar to warhead charge, toggle type, to focus command, focus attack, single enemies that increase flight speed or reduce damage, and or scramble command, either lightweight fighters, ship's turret. Each fighter lightweight ship targets random enemies, restrict player command, but increases percentage damage and target tracking, but lowers flight speed. God, that's a mouthful. This could make epic scene in space. Chillum comes back and says, hi there. The drone implants also work on fighters and lightweight ships, so we do not plan to develop a dedicated implant at this time. Well, yeah, Bombard already does that. So you could make an argument that there needs to be different implants for drones or fighters and lightweight fighters, and he doesn't specifically mention heavy fighters in that, which we now have heavy fighters in the game, which go on the super carriers, so it'll be interesting to see if Bombard goes towards that, although, man, if they don't make an implant that's specifically for super carrier pilots, give me one that gives me a 100% increase to the warp stability, because it's already fucking plus 50. Anyway, Enigma says cannons need another implant. They only have one, right? It's just one. I'm not a cannon guy. They only have one cannon implant, right?
Yeah, Bombard.
Oh,
Barrage.
they do have two. They have Barrage and what's the other one, Enigma? He's typing. He said two. So what's the second one for cannons? Is it the sniper? Sniper's cannon. Yeah, okay. Yeah, snipe. Yep. Okay. 3 more questions. The hurt doesn't end. Do you have plans allowing to repackage gold nanocores? Chillum comes back and says, thank you for your question. Currently, we do not have plans to allow repackaging of gold nanocores because we want to keep them non-tradable. Also, repackaging will cause some attribute loss. One of these things is not like the other, Chillum. He just wants to be able to repackage it instead of trading it, but you're giving him neither. I don't know why you'd want to repackage a golden nanocore, though. Like,
because
so
you want to put it in your interceptor and get blown up.
Yeah, fair point.
I've got for the next episode of Big Kills. Trust me, I think there's 1 or 2 that at least have a golden core that was being transported.
Oh God, that's too bad. Okay, next question. Will the Concorde carrier have nanocore in the future? Will the Concorde carrier have nanocore in the future? I don't know what does that means a Cyan C, I guess. I think that's what he's asking. Yeah. Chillum comes back and says, yes, it will. We are going to release it in the upcoming Interstellar Bazaar event. Stay tuned. So there is going to be an Interstellar Bazaar event. I don't know when that starts. I don't know if that's next week or a couple weeks from now. That's confirmation that the Cyan C is going to get a nanocore, but that's not confirmation that there's going to be nanocores for carriers or anything else, or even super carriers, which would be.
Now that should also be the one where they give us actually coupon codes to give out to our audiences and stuff like that.
For 5,000
like
SP.
50% off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 5,000 SP. Yeah.
For 5,000 SP. That's hilarious. We're actually going to do an event in kind of an event thing in our corp, and one of the prizes is going to be 100 coolant because they lost, so cool off, kind of thing. Remember when they did that with the overheating of the phones and the graphics?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one. As other special faction cruisers coming out, is there any plan to add more to Legion and SOE special faction ships? Chillum comes back and says, we appreciate your feedback. Fortunately, we do not have any immediate plans to add them to the game because of limited staffing. We will prioritize releasing special ships of more popular factions. If we have the opportunity in the future, we will add more varieties of special faction ships. Thank you for your support. There's that limited staffing again. I made a note when I saw this because I did actually see this. This is one of the very rare few Q&As that I actually read ahead of time. And I think I saw it the day they put it in our CC channel. And I instantly made a note. Yeah, just note to self, never use the words limited staffing ever again in a Q&A. Like, find some other way to say that. That sounds fucking horrible. So, whatever.
All that means is, our only plans is to bring out Titans at the anniversary and then set the server up on autopilot.
I mean, you could read into that. I don't know if that's the case, but you could read into that. I think the game's got legs for quite some time. There's enough people playing and paying. We can debate whether it's enough or not, but okay. We can go into the patch notes, or actually, you want to go into the patch notes? Because that's actually let's wait on the patch notes. Let's skip that. I want to go into these two things I got here. There's actually 3 different competitions that were going on in the last few days. This match against Wild Geese and Sakuma Drop. That's Saku and WG. That was held yesterday at 1400 UTC. I don't know the results. They don't post these things anywhere that's reliable to be able to go back and look. Do you know who won this?
I do not.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
I know my corp lost in the first round. So.
Right. And then, of course, the other one, which is a few days ago, and I'm pretty sure I heard that CRB won this one against Free Deep Space. Wild Geese won.
Rambo says Wild Geese won.
So Wild Geese won against Sakuma Drop. That's too bad. Just because, I mean, I know Sakuma very well, but FKG won against Spy. Very good. Thank you, Rambo.
Okay.
We miss you, buddy. And then I'm pretty, like I said, I'm like 99.9% sure that CRB won against Free Deep Space. I just don't see.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see very many being able to beat CRB. Honestly, that's a tough group of pilots. So, but anyway, okay. There's those 2, and I think there's a bracket up. X going to win against FKG. Yeah, that's again. I wish they would broadcast these things and live stream them. Somebody talk about a lot of fun to watch. At this point, I think everybody kind of has some sort of an idea of their tactics, although I know X would never. Run would be like, no way, he doesn't want his shit recorded. I'm sure they'll record it for themselves to watch for afterwards, but he'll never want to broadcast it.
It really wouldn't be hard to, and it would give them use of their actual YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Just stream the games.
Yep. So, oh well, these are entertaining. Then, of course, this morning, before we go into the patch notes, because I'll save that for when we talk about supers. This morning, I don't know if they gave us any information about it, but the CSM server had their first Captain's Cup, a 6v6 beginning of the tournament. I think they just had 2 groups competing, 6v6. That's why I didn't do if we had more that were going to do that, then I would have had a live stream yesterday morning doing the color commentary. But we just had the 2 groups, I believe. Ron did have a group in there too, but I don't know if they even gave us anything for. Yeah, I don't even see them putting out the results anywhere. So good job on the getting the information out about that. And I don't know if they streamed it today or not, because they never gave me a channel they're going to stream it on. So good job, CSM. Anyway, there is going to be in the next few days, whether it's tomorrow or Tuesday, one of the 2, I am going to be giving away free Duo Omega on that server. I'd planned to do that this last week. I didn't have time. So sorry. That's 2 Duo Omegas I couldn't hand out. But tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll have it on that server. We'll post up the link here in just a second so that you can be on it. Yeah, I couldn't keep up with that either, Rambo, but nobody posted anything. It's like, hello, do an @everyone and tell everybody the results, or at everyone it's starting now and we're streaming on so and so YouTube channel. Like, I saw nothing, and I'm looking through the server right now and I see absolutely nothing. Um, yeah, I don't see pings for it anywhere. So I don't know. I'm trying here. I'm trying. Okay, I'm going to post this over here so that everybody has this for next few days. Make sure you're on that server to get free Duo Omega the next 2 days. And
What is going on with the EPA currently?
well, we have a rough draft of a well, we have a charter. I don't know if we actually went back and voted on it and said it's 100% ironclad, but it's done. Up to that point anyway. And we did write up an introduction letter and send it in to the developers like 2.5 weeks ago now. Crickets, haven't heard a single word back, feedback, anything from anybody. So we're going to send it again, and like maybe this next week, we're going to send it again and say, hello, here we are, yada, yada, yada. And keep pounding on that. In the meantime, try to get more people on that server. Yeah, I mean,
You saw the
Turka, you're right.
This past week.
Go ahead.
If anyone else knows the game called Marvel Strike Force, it's in a bad position right now, and there is actually a player's voice movement, and they had, I think it was like a 36 to 40 page document that they sent to the developers. They got all the whales to sign off on it and everything else, and they're basically just pointing out, things that are wrong with the game, things that they want to get changed. Maybe the CSM should do that kind of approach as well, like as the player's voice.
Yeah. We've talked about a lot of different things that we can do. I think right now we're just starting off with let's at least get a conversation started before we start shouting. But yeah, I agree. Turkadur said in the chat, CSM got to stop being so timid. Yeah. I agree. I'm a very aggressive guy, but I cannot put too much more time into it than I already have. And when you got 9 other guys, you're trying to wrangle and go to the same direction. Sometimes, Durka, it's kind of, yeah. So we'll see. We'll get there. I don't have any doubts that we'll get there. It's just going to take some time. So, okay. With all that said, you want to get into some community news before we go into the main topic?
Yeah, sure.
Patch
sure.
notes and supers and everything else. I think I had a screenshot saved somewhere. I know I did, and I had a link too.
I mean, there's a lot going on in the community right now. I actually have to do a video on it about the entire shakeup going on in nullsec right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone's looked at the maps, there's some crazy things happening. Obviously, AOA's gotten bigger, has taken more land. Meow has forced Myth out of Fountain. Nilf at one point separated from Fountain. I think you guys talked about this last week. Then they captured one of their a Meow Citadel before giving them the finger, and they joined Silent.
Yeah.
Ret C currently has Sav up in Declan, and I actually have a statement about that. That's not it. One second, find my notes here. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't say Ret C on the map anymore, does it?
It says Ret C has consolidated with our allies of Razzle Dazzle in the north. So the equivalent of Silent letting us crash on the couch. And of course, I'm going to talk about Wolf. I think that's one of the main points, but I just going to gloss over everything else first. 108 is being eaten up by CRB. So the Brethren Court renters are being forced out or in. And again, Wolf is being forced out by Meow. They had terms, even though they were neutral. They had terms, and then all of a sudden Meow broke those terms before Meow broke those terms before Wolf even had their leadership take a vote on it. Part of this was that they had to give up Manticore. I think like the first round was they had to drop all of their allies, Ret C, Myth, anyone that fought against them. They were only allowed to keep wild geese as their own ally. They had to give up Manticore and then just not expand any further within Fountain. And then while they were voting on everything, Meow just attacked him flat out again.
Yeah, Meow's got Boop, the old Boop, whatever. They've got their fingers in about as many regions right now as AOA does, which is kind of impressive that they've managed to do that, and they've managed to do it to former allies of NCC and had no opposition for the most part. I mean, really, not large opposition at all. Burr's letting them do whatever the hell they want. AOA's letting them do whatever the hell they want. Silent has obviously been preoccupied during this time, either with the war in Delve or everywhere else they were fighting down south, and then now, of course, pulling back out and reestablishing Sov back up north. But I've been watching what Meow's been doing. That's for damn sure. Every day. So it's kind of interesting.
Well, Meow was also forcing AAA out of what area was that? Down south.
Catch and part of Queries. Yeah. And then that honestly
and also, is. And Trimark joined the Space Cows, giving the Space Cows more expanse over Nullsec.
Well, they're pulling out Aquarius, and that really is what led to the demise of Trimark, is everything that Meow's doing and getting rid of AAA, and AAA was blue to Trimark. So I mean, it is amazing. You throw all that in there and everything going on in Burr, essentially. Like Burr's, I don't know. It seems like 3 or 4 times a week I see and watch Burr get their ass handed to him by CRB as well. Not just 108, but right there in Burr's back freaking yard. Yeah, they're totally burned out trying to kill Silent. Exactly. They pretty much killed themselves. They are. I don't know. I don't know where Mel is. I think I've heard that he's getting ready to go on vacation or something. I haven't seen Ozier in like 3 weeks say or do anything. I'm not really sure what's going on with Burr. It seems like the Pirates are having a real problem. So.
And the funny thing is, I even posted this on the Reddit thing. Wolf is really in a hard spot right now because of that the triple H, the Hippo pack. So they can't really. None of the CC that were involved in that big war are going to come defend the small alliance because of the pack. And if anyone from Razzle Dazzle side comes to help out Wolf, well, that's going to enact the Triple H pack, which would bring all the CC back to fight whoever is going to defend Wolf. So they're really caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, supposedly, right? Supposedly, but as far as reforming CC and all and Hippos and all that, but I mean, I'm sorry if I'm the Hippos, that name, I'm sorry, it's fucking CC, Coward Coalition. If I'm those guys, if I'm a line pilot in CC, and any member of CC who fought for 7 months against Silent, against Razzle Dazzle, and I looked up north and saw a single Sov going down, and no one did a fucking thing about it. And still to this day, they've done nothing but little pissant cruiser roams and 1 or 2 Macarial roams. One of them did get 2 Rorquals, just someone being stupid. And then shit happens, right? But I mean, that's it. Like after that, like nothing. We got our YouTube roamers, Vetemune, the veterinarian himself. That's it. Like, I'd be pissed as a line pilot if I fought for 7 goddamn months, did what I did in that war, put all my effort into trying to kill another organization, only to watch them do what Silent's doing now. I'd be pissed off at my leadership, and they wouldn't be any leadership. I wouldn't be a part of that group for that reason. So maybe that's why they're not able to get anybody to show up. Jacobo and his little roams, he gets 4 guys now. So. I don't know. I would enjoy them doing something, though. I would enjoy them attempting to do something. That'd be great. Let's see. What else on the community side? I mean, that's a lot to take in. There's a lot going on around the map, obviously, and it's going to change from week to week. But is there anything else that we need to fill in before we get into the super conversation?
Checking my notes. I don't believe so. Just a lot of people having fun with the new content. basically just it's just everything that's going on in Null right now, and that's the big thing is Meow pushing out Wolf. I mean, everyone in Declan is basically I think just farming again. CRB is crunching on 108. Um, yeah, ESCA is doing their thing. They're doing a bunch of roams. Uh, basically, everyone's ignoring them as well. Pravi is Pravi. So
ESCA has pulled in multiple corps here recently.
yeah,
So some of them are from Care Bears. So they did most of
they're
that.
making some moves.
Most of that pull came right before we dropped soft for the first time in a long time. So Slippy. Yeah, there's been a little bit of that shenanigans going on. Honk has been messing with Void for weeks now on a Citadel. And Slippy posted in our chat, taking bets when VISN gets T4. So we hear that it's upgrading to T4, and Honk assembled and has been pausing the the whole damn thing for weeks by hitting the shields. So, oh, I know, Rocket. Rocket says Honk has always been messing with Void. I know, but I mean, this is just another one of the ways they've been messing with him. It's hysterical. Definitely an ongoing feud there between the two groups, which is always fun to watch. Need that kind of rivalry in the game. Rename it to A Void, yeah. Avoid it like the plague. Yeah, Rambo mentioned something about Discord mod censorship. I don't know what's been going on with that. I don't really watch our own CC chat on the Eve Echoes Discord that often. Do you know anything about what's going on with that?
I haven't checked in a couple of days, so let's see what nonsense is going on there.
Rambo, you want to type up something real quick? I can repeat. I feel like I do this all the time. I was having a conversation a couple days ago, and had a couple of us in a chat on the silent server, and JD couldn't talk, but he was listening, and so he was typing, but nobody was reading or what he was typing, and so he finally just tagged me and said, "Taylor, read all this shit." Anyway, Rambo says some CC were spamming uwu in general chat, got muted, and was told they could get removed from CC for it. Oh, good Lord. And your video went back to your Discord screen, just so you know.
I know. I'm showing how much I've missed
in
the
gotcha.
CC, but it looks like there is a lot that I've missed in the CC channel. So let me turn that off again. As you can see, I always check in every couple of days. You know what?
Yeah.
Like there's the few days that I do actually check in and start conversations. No one ever contacts back. Like it kills whatever conversation's going, and there's no movement in that channel for at least a day. And then when I stay away, a bunch of shit happens. You know, that's how it is.
Yeah,
I've been too busy to keep up.
There's some of those over there. Yeah, there's some of those people over there that, and no offense to any of the content creators that are in that channel. No offense to anybody, but there's some of them over there who just bitch and complain about things nonstop. And I wonder, like, number one, like, why? This isn't the gripe channel. And number two, like, do you not really do anything else? Because there's 50 messages in here from you bitching about the same thing yet again for the fourth day in a row. Like, that's part of why I don't spend much time there. But, oh well. Okay.
Yeah, the last time I checked in was the 9th.
The 9th.
And that's just to trying to get them to update the Fulmination server with the supers.
Yeah, come on.
Because obviously, because my argument is, we are your advertising. You want us to put content out. You want people to get excited for it. Well, give us the means to do this, or give us supers on the live server so we can make videos about them.
Exactly. I don't see why it's so hard. Oh, by the way.
Yeah, I've been. For those that know, I've been actually stepping up my game on videos. I've been pumping out videos left and right.
You
lately.
have.
I'm I'm the new improved Captain Benzie. Just the evil and I'm the captain now.
Never compare yourself to Captain Benzie. You are debasing yourself, my friend.
I'm his cooler evil brother.
Something like that. I don't know if he
It's
actually
time for
plays. I do know he bitches. I will say that. Captain Busy. All right, we need new commercials, ladies and gentlemen. We have a whole plethora of commercials. I don't want to play the real men of New Eden all over again. I played like all 4 of them or something in a row, like the last 2 shows. So we need to make some more. We need some of you making commercials again. It's time to get back into that groove. All you have to do is just, you record anything you want, send it in to us. We'll play it, whether it's audio, whether it's video and audio, or you can call into the show. Leave us a voicemail, and that could be your ad, and we'll play it at this segment when we come up with the ads. The number is 928-227-9027. Again, the number is 928-224-9027. Operators are not standing by, although if you leave a funny enough message, Rambo will call you back and talk to you for 47 minutes. And with that, that's hilarious. That's like the worst GIF ever. Thank you for that, Alondria. Let's get into the patch notes. I got them pulled up here, so if you're streaming or watching the YouTube side, you can see them. I got a few people over there. Sorry, I hadn't seen anybody. 07 back to Bichel. Let's go through and read these. Patch notes, June 7th. This was the big one. New content, Super Carrier. When people set foot on the land of New Eden, it's a space game, what the fuck, on the land of New Eden and started a new life, the Super Carrier development project has already started. They are the backbone of various Empire fleets. As the threat from unknown forces intensified, Concord has made available the manufacture of the 4 supercarriers and their related modules. First off, we have the Wyvern. Where Wyvern's fighters fall short in damage, they excel in attack accuracy, defense, and flight velocity. With assistance from a powerful radar disruption burst, they can exert precise strikes on enemies. The carrier itself possesses an extremely potent shield-resistant and shield hit points capable of taking heavy firepower with the support of logistics. Then we have the Hell. Hell boasts the greatest fighter damage of all, and thus quickly delivering significant damage to enemies has become a key design goal for it. Hell's fighters are fast-moving, and the carrier itself is similarly swift. It excels at direct attacking quick enemies and utilizes the engine disruption burst to slow enemies down. These burst modules are high slots or mid slots. I get confusion when I read this. It sounds like they're mid slots, but anyway.
I'm checking in the game now.
Yeah. Aeon is the representative of Mars Empire's steady and robust ships. It boasts the longest fighter range, the best fighter firing precision, and the strongest fighter defense, making it a formidable opponent against any enemy. In addition to its powerful fighters, Aeon also has the best defense itself. When using its power disruption burst, Aeon is capable of neutralizing a large amount of power in multiple targets, further reinforcing Aeon's survivability on the field. And last but not least, everybody's favorite, I believe, the Nyx. Nyx's firepower is almost as potent as Hell, yet it Heal. I don't know. I'm going to say Hell because Heal sounds stupid. Yet it differs from Hell in its fighters, where they boast greater firing range and defense. Plus, they also excel in reducing their own signature radius, making it harder for enemies to lock onto them. While Nyx may fall off against high-speed targets compared to the Hell, it can deal significant damage to enemies with its powerful defense disruption burst. Understanding how to evade the defense disruption is crucial in countering the Nyx. How to obtain reverse engineering blueprints, data, damaged hulls, the manufacturing. Yeah, okay. So basically you get the reverse engineering of these for the blueprints for each one of those 4 I just listed from a shit ton of debris. For example, the Wyvern takes 100 Chimera blueprints. Each one of those blueprints is 77 debris. So that's 7,700 debris right there off the bat. 7,700 debris just for what shows up on the left-hand side when you're looking at the invention window. That's just what's on the left-hand side. Right? On the right-hand side, you got a whole bunch of shit, which is a bunch of debris, and it's multiple debris of every debris type there is. It's everything from Minmatar, Amar, Galente, and I'm drawing a blank, whatever. All 4 of them, right? So, in multiple quantities of each, and it depends on which one you're going for. If you're going for the Wyvern, then it's going to be heavy on Caldari. That's what I wasn't thinking of. If you're going to go for the Nyx, it's going to be heavy on Galente. But you're going to need fax debris as well as carrier debris of all 4 races in order to have a chance to do the reverse engineering of this thing. I think all told, I keep getting multiple numbers. I don't know why. I've had multiple people tell me it's 11,000 debris, but my own internal stats, and when I write all this stuff up, it's not. It's like 9,800 or something like that. It's still a shit ton of debris. That right there is likely to be the majority of the player base's biggest bottleneck, is the number of, there's just the sheer amount of debris that you need. That's likely to be the biggest bottleneck. Believe it or not, the button push costs, the number of capital components you have to make, all that stuff is actually not as difficult as what the debris is. Debris on the market's been going up. It's harder to get when you're talking about numbers like that. You can't just go and buy it all off the market, even if you had trillions or billions or whatever. It's just not there. There just isn't enough there. It's going to take time for the majority of players. I do know that there are multiple players who already have blueprints on the ones that they want. Kudos to you for stockpiling for I don't know how long it took you to do that, but congratulations. You won the race as far as to the blueprint. So, a couple of more notes about super carriers. Due to their massive size, super carriers can only be manufactured and docked at large corporation citadels and interstellar trading centers, with the exception of high-sec areas. I don't know what they mean by with the exception of high-sec areas. Does that mean you could build it in an NPC in high-sec?
I'm trying to pull up all the prices as we're looking over them. Where's the debris located currently?
Price-wise?
Yeah, I just want to pull up a.
Go look at the Caldari debris. Yeah, that's how it reads, JD, is that you can build it in a null ITC, but then it says at the end of that, with the exception of high-sec areas. So does that mean an ITC that's in a high-sec area? I think it means that's a yes as well. But that's weird that you would do it there. I don't know. It's worded weird. All right, JD's saying no. We'll just go with that. You read it as no. Okay, cool. So I just read it weird. Gotcha. While super carriers are powerful, they are also easily spotted and besieged by enemies. Concord suggests Capsuleers should pilot them only when they have adequate support. No shit. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Ongoing research. Due to the requirements of galactic warfare, various factions are pressured to accelerate the research and manufacturing processes for supercarriers. Currently, there is still room for improvement in the design of the supercarrier blueprint, and its high cost of production has limited the overall combat capability of New Eden. Currently, major factions are scrambling to develop the Super Capital Assembly Array, an add-on structure that can reduce the material cost for all capital ships for sovereign corporations. In addition, industrial process optimization for capital ship components with huge demand has been put on the agenda, will reduce the ISK cost of producing capital ship components in the future and further enhance the overall combat capability of New Eden. These are two separate structures that are coming, not one. Although, reading that, I guess I could see it both ways, but I'm pretty sure I've heard two that are coming. Neither one of them will be here in time for the current competition to build super, so that's hilarious. So good timing on that. here's the race, right? Here's the event for who's going to build the highest number of supercarriers first, and we'll give you all this stuff to make it a little bit easier and a little bit cheaper after you've done it. Thank you very much. New skills. I was actually pretty surprised by this. I figured there'd be a shit ton of skills in order to be able to fly one of these, Damon, and it wasn't that bad. When you really go and look at it, somebody who's currently pretty well skilled in carriers like myself, it doesn't take that much. It's just carrier skills.
Pretty much
add the heavy fighter skills in there, and you're good to go.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't even see a different navigational command.
No.
Skill for it.
Same jump drive, same everything. It was pretty wild. So,
right. Well, you would think because it's a higher size ship, right? It's a bigger, even though they're still classified as a carrier, it's a super carrier.
Yeah.
You think there would be a super command skill?
Yeah, you would. I honestly thought there'd at least be a command, but there wasn't. So the ones they added, and JD's saying in JD's saying in chat, Nettie's going to listen to this now and change it. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah. So heavy fighter operation. Yeah, exactly. Heavy fighter operation, heavy fighter upgrade, supercarrier cover module operation. We're going to talk about that. Power disruption burst projector operation, and it says and other skills, but honestly, that's it. That's the stuff right there. Those 4, and you're good to go. And I could argue that really out of all of that, the only thing that really matters is the supercarrier cover module, because you can use fighters and light fighters on this thing, according to what I've read. So you still need jump drive, yeah. To 555 instead of 554, yeah. So let's talk about the heavy fighters. They are offensive fighters exclusive to supercarriers. They possess strong attack and defense capabilities, and they're heavy fighter.
You were right. They were mid modules.
Yeah, they're mid modules.
Looking on the market now.
Yeah, they're mid modules. Yeah.
There's actually 2 defense swarm modules up on, and they are both for $22.9 billion.
Yeah, I mean those blueprints are dropping. I don't know. Are they only dropping in the capital test range?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, feels like it.
I mean, they're supposed to be dropped. There's a chance of it dropping from the containers of all the rallies, all the capital rallies. But as far as I know, I've only seen them coming from the test.
Well, there's no boxes in the capital test range. Is there? I don't think there are. I haven't ran one yet. I know as a corp we did one here recently, but I wasn't able to make it.
Do we know that if they drop from the credit card boxes?
Only the credit card boxes.
Because you can get up to, because you can get the credit card boxes. You can get them from Wavegraph. I forget which version of it is, but you can get them from the Wavegraph anomalies. You can get them from there as well.
Gotcha. All right, so back to the heavy fighters. There's 4 models: the Malice, the Mantis, the Cyclops, and the Tirefing.
Yeah, that's what I messed up on too.
Tirefing? Good God. Purchased the Mark 9 blueprint from Jita. Go ahead.
It keeps making me think of D&D, like Tiefling.
Turfing. JD says it's Turfing. Gotcha. So Turfing, Cyclops, Mantis, and Malice. The Mark 9 blueprints from Jita or obtained advanced blueprints from various capital ship cosmic anomalies and manufacturing using ores, of course. Gotcha. All right. Super Carrier Cover Module. This is the second biggest thing. The biggest thing, actually, with the super carriers besides the carrier itself. The next one's pretty interesting, too. To enhance the support capability of supercarriers to a fleet, Supercarrier Cover Module was developed. The module connects the super to its nearby fleet, squad members, defense systems, and power systems via remote energy transfer technology, allowing the carrier to supply fleet members with energy and comprehensive repair. Further, it is capable of transferring some of the damage taken to the supercarrier. The development of the cover module made reference to the tech used, force auxiliary, range, yada, 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 more potent than the armor link. I mean, the way they word this out, and of course it's reverse engineering materials such as experiment, data, and manufacture it. The way they word this out is it's kind of a more potent armor link, but can take in damage from anything. Very good, JD. I'll say that in a minute. But that's the way I read that. It's a more advanced version of an armor link, but it also has energy transfer and everything else baked into the cake. Isn't that the way you read it, Damon? It's not a shield field.
Yeah.
Which is what I think people were hoping for. But and I'm kind of glad it's not.
It's if I remember correctly reading it when I did the video, and it was kind of like in the same vein as an armor link.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll do shields. It'll do shields as well, not just
run both at the same time because it overrides the other one.
Yeah, yeah. It'll act like an armor link, but manage it with shields as well as with capacitor, and it'll be interesting to see how. I wish, again, if this was on Fulmination server, I'd have one right now and be showing you live on air. That'd be great, but it is what it is. This other thing they put out, which was kind of a surprise to me, and I didn't even notice it until just a few days ago, the Capital Emergency Hull Energizer. Yeah. This is like invincibility mode for like a minute and a half or some shit. In the prior,
it's a capital ECM. The like the all around defensive one. I'm sorry, I'm a couple drinks in already before the show.
It's just a capital size DCU essentially.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
However, the twist is, and this I thought was brilliant. When you use it, you burn it up. It can't be fixed. All you can do is reprocess it. It's got one-time use.
Oh, well, that's total shit then. I thought there was something different about that.
Yeah, you can only use it once. That's what's different about it. However, the way they word it is that there's nothing to repair it yet. That's what they say, yet. They have that. They put that word in there, yet. So, they may bring out something that will cost you AOR ORM to fix it down the road or something.
Let's see. Hold on a second. All right. JD, I'm going to back up because a few people were asking me to say a few things. JD was saying he wants to make sure. This is an announcement, I guess, from Silent Fed, right? Please tell people how much supercarriers suck and how the Fed has offered to take them off of everyone's hand. Please send your debris to Michael JD. Okay. That's the Fed's official statement. Burst projectors. These are, I don't know, these are interesting. They're mid modules, like we discussed. Oh, and that's another thing too. On the high slots on these super carriers, you think we're going to be able to put remote reppers on them like we do on Sciences? Why not? Their capacitor grid's going to be effing huge.
I mean, that's what a lot of people were doing in EO. They were spider tanking with Nixes and shit like that. So I do like the idea of the burst projection module that you can actually, it's not centered on your ship like the Nightmare Shield. You actually pick a target, fire it, and it's a 360-degree bubble around that target. And the closer to the center you are, the more effective it is. So if you're using the warp scram one, if you're using the neutralizer one, if you're on the fringes of the bubble, you're not going to get sucked down as dry. But if you're in the dead center of that, kiss your cap goodbye.
So it's energy disruption, weapon disruption, radar disruption, engine disruption, power disruption, defense disruption.
I tell you, this is the first time you're seeing the notes.
No, I've looked over them. I'm just kind of thinking about it.
There's a few on there that I feel are better than others. Let me pull them up on my screen too, so I can read along. Definitely the neutralizer one is going to play a big part in it. I think the warp Well, it depends. The warp shield bubble one that it's basically like it's having a hero Hictor without having a hero Hictor. You know?
Yeah. No, that'll be one to play around with each one of these, honestly, to kind of see. And obviously, there's different bonuses on each one. Now, you can fit each one of these to whatever you want, but they obviously have bonuses
Yes.
on each individual ship. So,
Yeah. Each ship has its own
yeah.
best use for 'em. Shield module, burst projectors. Okay, yeah. So like the engine disruption is gonna be good. Power disruption can be good if you're fighting a fleet that's basically pure alpha. Um, if you know they have well, like I said, I think the neutralizer one's gonna be best, right? Because if it's a cap, if it's a
Yeah.
cap fight, you're gonna launch this at their, their fax fleet, you know, and then you can focus down some other things. Web disruption, it reduces the target's artillery range and precision. Yeah, I can see that kind of working. I don't think it's gonna be a big one. Radar disruption, I don't see that being huge as well. Um, it, it depends. Like, everything's niche. You know what I mean?
It is.
But like, so I can see ones being used for definite fleet encounters, and others being used for like radar's disruption. That would probably be good for, say, if you're being attacked by Blink Fleet. You know, launch this in that area. They can't lock you down, so you can get away. Um, but yeah, a lot of these ones are gonna be niche. We'll just have to wait and see what the meta is. We have to see someone actually, build one of these and actually use it in battle.
But I think what'll be interesting is to see how it gets paired, though. And I think this is one of the great things about the state of the game right now that people forget. And you just mentioned it with things like Blink Fleet. Look at what those guys have been able to do with bombers. Something that, 3 or 4 months ago, it's just a bomber, right? Now it's a totally different thing. But they've managed to combine and augment, the ship, the implants, the GUs, and all the different things that they do to make it something that's unique. And you have to come up with a very unique counter towards it as well. I can think of several different situations where people have done this, whether it be they've got a group that's using automated defense on top of Bombard. You can't lock them. You have to relock them, or you're getting hit heavy, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of mix and match. And JD just hates it when I talk like this because he wants to someone throws up the gif of the kitchen sink, and I'm not, when I talk about this, I'm not talking about a fleet of 50 completely different fucking ships with all different implants and all different abilities and all specialized roles. I'm just simply saying that when you put a fleet together, you can now at this point have guys with high power coil and stun grenades slowing you down. You can have support projection turning things off. You can have automated defense getting you to unlock. And you can yeah, exactly. But when you combine those things together, it becomes a very potent thing, And I see a path forward for certain fleets to be able to do this, to where it's not about the meta so much as everything skewing towards one thing, like JD and Nothing But Nightmares, or Nothing But Phantasms. Or Burr and Nothing But Fiends. I think that was something they talked about. But I mean, I just see that as a great thing, a good part of the game. There's a lot of niche roles people can play, and when you combine that as a greater good or greater whole, you can be pretty deadly. It can be pretty potent. So, subs for plebes. Anyway, all right. Moving along, Capital Ship Trial Field. From now on, when destroyed various cosmic anomalies in nullsec zone, capsuleers may find a hidden capital ship trial field, or what's actually in-game capital ship test, I think, or capital range. I forget what CTR, capital test range is what it says in the game.
There's actually one up currently.
Yeah, there's multiple up around the area. The capital ship trial field is designated specifically for large-scale capital ship research and development trials. It contains a large number of partially improved capital ships and even supercarriers, with only a few regular ships for maneuvering support. And of course, it's a lot. you better have a good sized fleet taking that out. That's not a walk in the park. And the amount of materials you get out of that, going back to referencing how much debris you need to even get a blueprint going, you got to be running those, or else you're just not going to get there anytime soon. See you next year. They made some adjustments to the cosmic anomaly adjustments. From now on, it is possible to obtain advanced component transport containers from capital ship rally points, capital ship special fleets, unknown capital ship rift, and unknown hidden rift from the wave graph. The transport container is very valuable, and you can receive items such as advanced component, ship upgrade, modification data, hangar upgrade, and modification data by opening it directly. You may receive more items by using a key to open it, as it protects the integrity of the data inside. So that's good. They've kind of branched and put some new things into more of the capital anomalies. I'm really kind of surprised they didn't put anything in for cap anomalies and HiSec for the Sciences. I'm really surprised they didn't do that. I was waiting for a gold core for Sciences where you could just print money in a cap rally in HiSec. Like, that would just kill me. Very good, JD. JD apparently has a service to run these for you. Anyway, new event, Super Carrier Manufacturing Contest. We just talked about this a little bit ago. Started June 7th, just the other day, once the patch came out. Ends on the 2nd of August. Is it just me, or does the what you get out of this seem like totally stupid? Like, during the event, all corporations and individuals who successfully started a supercarrier manufacturing job, make note of that, started it, not finished it, will receive a reward based on their rankings. Further, the manufacturer will receive a basic reward for each supercarrier manufactured. The ranking will be automatically updated once the manufacturing job has started and submission of the item is not required, as in completion. The leaderboard will be updated twice a week and will not be updated in real time. Primary rewards. Various supercarrier medals. Okay. New modules. Well, those are the modules we need anyway. And fighter blueprints, which we can get now anyway. As the results, as the rules and rewards are intricate, please refer to the event page for more details. But honestly, the rewards there is just not... That's who cares? The rewards are nothing. Like, you're not getting anything. You're not getting any special skin for your supercarrier. You're not getting a nanocore for your supercarrier. You're not getting a banner. Or you're not getting anything. You're just getting a medal. So, and granted, that'll be a pretty rare medal. But how many people actually care about medal? Yeah, for A+ months. Like, do we really give a shit about that? Didn't that kind of surprise you, Damon, that the rewards are so soft?
No. Did you want me to expand on that? I mean,
no, that's it. It's that simple. Yeah, it's really that simple. Not much to that part of it. All right.
They have the art team to make this, but they can't give the corporations that win their inscription of the galaxy their shit.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that's like the only part of the Echo's development team that's on par and has always been on par, and that's the art department. When the art department's kind of left to their own devices, they do some great stuff. So they do some great stuff, and everybody that was bitching about the Science and what it looked like, nobody cares about that now. Nobody cares about that now. So a couple of balance adjustments. Added a unique bonus to the versatile assault ships. Those are the faction carriers. Raised the activation time of Capital Emergency Hull Energizer by 120 seconds. That's that new DCU. Added a unique bonus to Guard Rorqual. Raised the activation time of Capital Emergency Hull Energizer to 180 seconds. So, yeah, that could be used for the Rorqual. Let's see. And that is it for the patch notes. All good on that end. Anybody listening have any questions on the super carriers? I've got a breakdown I'm going to go pull up and go into some more details on what it takes to build one of these things. We obviously talked about what it takes on what it takes on the debris side, which is astronomical. I just can't imagine very many entities in the game are going to have the ability to go nuts on all that. Let's see. Let me get over to my Drive account. I can pull these up. Hold on 1 second. Oh, for crying out loud. Be nice if I had this prepared ahead of time.
First draft.
I love it. All right, pull up my thing for capitals. Okay, I guess I'm just going to have to come over here and do it over here because I can't get that to pull up.
Bunker, I'm right there with you. As soon as I saw the first artwork for it, I immediately had flashbacks of Wing Commander.
Yeah, it does. You're right. Yeah. Look at that. I'll be damned. Let's see. I'll go pull up. We'll just give you some rough numbers here on a super carrier. 4.2 billion titanium. Oddly, no gleaming alloy. So that's hilarious. But 36 million opulent compound. I mean, I'm just listing a couple of the high points here. The number of components. Let's go through the number of actual built. Hold on. Did that wrong. The sum of all of the. Oh, for crying out loud. It's just less than 1,000. That's not correct. One second. I think I had all. There we go. All of those. Yeah, 954. That's the number I had in my head. 954 capital components. Everything from 238 drone bays to 120 shield emitters, 57 computer systems, 57 construction parts, 72 armor plates. It's a lot. Yeah, you can use your existing component skills to build those. Yeah. Yep, you can. Looking like the button presses are just over 477 billion. The other 200 and some odd billion is those materials I just listed. Yeah, Indy has more to do in this game right now than Indy can handle. Whether that's chewing through all of this or it's the reverse engineering side. I mean, bunker boot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a very big grind. There's a lot there. Well, it's not just the Indy grind, but it's the PvE grind at this point too, because of the debris. Right? It's 11,000 debris in total, or people keep saying that, but the numbers I have show me just under 10,000, which isn't that much better, but it's just under 10,000. It's a shit ton. It'll be great to see one of these things in the field, though. Whenever somebody gets one, I'll be super excited to actually see one somewhere, because it'll rip through people like crazy.
I estimate one will die within a week of it being built.
Ooh. That's painful. That's painful,
Someone
Damon.
somewhere will do something stupid.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, PvPers will just go nuts to go get it. But I don't know. Will it die to rats first? Yeah, someone's going to... That's probably more likely than a PvP kill first, because someone's going to try to make it easier to run these capital test sites. More than likely. It's a fair point. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry, guys. JD says these things suck. You can send them all to him. It's fine. He's still trying to figure out how to pay for one. I'm just kidding, JD. I have to give you shit. Yeah, exactly. I know. Dues increased. I know. I know how you're paying for it out of everybody else's wallet.
I remember you can send those to JD in care of Damon Space Zell for the contracts.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like every time I do this show and Rambo's not here to help me out, I wind up with a bigger tax due from the Fed by the time I'm done. All right. Anything else that you want to cover on supers, Damon?
I want one.
Yeah, so do I.
I want a Knicks. Other than that, the only thing that comes to mind is FC permission to shoot Taylor Rick.
As always, right? Every time. Yeah, I want a Wyvern. I think if I'm going to build one myself, which won't happen for a very, very long time, I would want a Wyvern. I think these are more alliance, Fed type, large group types of builds for now. For now, you have to have a large group.
Oh, we've talked about the first made, the first that may well die, whether it be to PvP or rats. What is our take on the first stolen?
Oh.
Because like you said, if alliances are coming together to build this for an alliance wide, it's only going to take one guy to I'm going to pilot it, and then just shoot out.
Yeah, if they're passing it around between multiple pilots, oh boy. Or even just during the build phase when they're trying to get all the debris rounded up, and then they give it to someone's indie guy, and that indie guy disappears with all the debris. Payday. Probs Care Bears has got.
You can't. My dues are paid up.
Yep. All right. If anybody doesn't have any questions in the audience, we're going to wrap it up. Anybody have any questions on super carriers? Any thoughts? Anybody want to throw some shade in there real quick before we wrap up today's show? It's a short one.
Or personal questions for Taylor and myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Or any jabs at Rambo since he's not here to defend himself.
Ooh, yes. Anybody want to speak up? Put an X, and we'll unmute you, and we'll let you say your bit. Charizard says they're trash. Allie says stop giving thieves ideas. Slippy says the amount of misspoken words was down 96% this episode. Yeah, I think I failed on 2.
But the amount of alcohol has been upped by at least 20%.
Yeah, editable. Exactly, Grad. I still editable. All right, sounds good. With that, no one's Xing up. We're going to call it a show. We went over an hour, Rambo. We went over an hour. Okay? This is what happens. I talk too fast. Damon drinks. And we get her done.
It's true.
Yeah.
So
thanks for coming on, man.
Doesn't have any flights to go on.
Yeah. No, I don't. All right, we'll play the outro, and here we go.